Mr. Hoff?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got the Iceman here, best-selling book. You've broken 10 gazillion records, and it seems to have all kind of came about when you were 17 and jumped into a little bit of cold water, and that was, maybe we're always looking for something, and that seemed to be the thing that fulfilled you, right? Would you say that?
Yes. There is more than meets the eye, more than we can see there is within us. And I felt the emptiness, and that emptiness became a drive to find how to fill it up. So I read a lot of books, I did a lot of practices, but when I found the cold water, that it was. There it was. Boom. A seeker becomes a finder because he has been seeking so long. So when he finds it, maybe somebody else will just overlook it, but not the seeker, because he is there to find it. And in this case, it was to find something that is more than meets the eye. And I felt it. I felt it back there, and that is 46 years ago.
And you know how it is these days. What they do is like you found your thing. Nowadays, people will sit around, they get depressed, they have anxiety, which we'll get into. They go to the doctor. Take this, take that, take this, take that.
Oh.
And we have up your best-selling book.
Oh, yeah.
We have it up on the screen. We're going to have it in here so everybody can see it. What Doesn't Kill Us. Great book. You can get it on Amazon. It's really a killer book. I was up till 3 a.m. last night reading through the other ones as well. But what a pleasure. But so my question is, we'll get to how you got to where you were. But for a beginner, okay, there's tons of studies, and I think you would agree with me that some of the studies with the cold and the breathing and the meditation, they're not published because that would go against big pharma.
Oh. Now you see what we are up against. It's the big wall.
Yeah.
The big wall which wants to divide us from the understanding that we can control ourselves, that we are built to control ourselves, that we are built to have mastery over the depth of our own physiology. It's nothing but logic. We have gotten into a dualism because of whatever they say. They brainwashed us so much that we think that we need something unnatural to bring back a natural balance. It's crazy. And this is how far it all got. We alienated so much of our inner understanding of our balanced, powerful physiology within our command. That is craziness. And that makes people crazy. Like in society, what they are being offered in the schooling system, the food industry, etc., is nothing about how to become happy, strong, healthy. No, you have to fit in to the system. What is the system, man? That's not a person. We are here not to serve a system. We are here to serve a personalized happiness, strength, and health. Those are the stones of our healthy society. Now it has become sick, and we have to bring the knowledge back, the awareness back. And that's why I do so much science. So there is no speculation, no brainwashing, no doubting. Man, this is all based on facts. And yes, there is one thing which we will make sick. That is the healthy industry of the pharmaceuticals.
I hate them. I don't know if you've seen, but I've had every doctor, every top doctor, McCullough, Epstein, Dr. Malone, many, many times, just to name a few. and every one of them talks about the cold. And these are the top doctors on the planet, the top. Now, can you imagine, Mr. Hoff, because, you know, you're on the TED, you do the ice box, everybody thinks, you know, it is cool, but, you know, it looks cool too. Can you imagine how many people you probably saved their lives and they don't even know it because of depression, anxiety, stress?
Yes.
And they said, I want to be like that
Yes.
guy. I want to be like that cool guy. And even if they just tried it a little bit. And when we get through everything, you could see that, especially when I was reading about the epinephrine, if I'm saying that right, when you hit that,
Yeah.
it would have to hit, doesn't it have to hit the dopamine somehow, some way? And to what you said.
Oh, no, yeah.
And to
No doubt.
And to what you said, if you go back in real time, real history, and I know you've been all over the world, if you go look at the monks and people like that are within self, with nature, these guys live to 110 and they look 50 because they're not into this and that and blah, 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 blah. They find self. So now for a beginner that looks up to you and they're like, wow, you know, Mount Everest, everything, with the cold. So does it have to be iced? So if, like, I actually did this waiting for you to come on. And don't make fun of me. It looks like a baby pool, you know, but it's to put ice in it. You know, you blow it up and, you know, it looks.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
baby pool or rock.
Yeah.
Icy cold is icy cold.
So now what temperature would you start with? How cold does it have to be to start?
I would say to anybody who's going to start, a first thing. Listen, we have found the keys to your power, natural power. We want to give them to you, but you have to be able to unlock those powers within yourself. Start gradually. Take it easy. Know that we got the keys. We're going to give them to you to open up you to yourself, to your deeper powers. You start with cold showers. You start with 15 seconds cold shower. Then the other day, 30 seconds, 45, 1 minute. If you go up to 2 minutes, then you are ready to go into icy water because the cardiovascular system trains itself to its natural condition in about 10 days. And so naturally, it will grow into that natural condition. What happens in 10 days is magical. The blood flow will go a lot better through the system, the whole body, which is 70,000 miles of vascular channels, like capillaries, arteries, and veins. It reaches much better, therefore, the cells. So you get a lot more transportation of the vitamins and nutrients, the oxygen, the alkalinity, the minerals to the cells. That makes you having a lot more energy. That is number one. Two, the heart rate goes down. Heart rate goes down by 10, 15, 20, 25 beats a minute, 24 hours a day. That means the stress is out of your body. You become more at ease, but more energy. So instead of higher in anxiety and stress, you make it lower. And instead of low in energy, you get higher. You reverse it all. That's why I say a cold shower a day keeps the doctor away. Even the doctor now are doing it.
Yeah. Now, okay, so you get so you jump in the shower, you go a couple days, you can get it up to 2 minutes. And I put up your website because it's just so awesome, and you have courses, and I want you to tell me about that. But first, I want you to tell me how to do this. The breathing. Explain to me the breathing. So how do I go about my breathing and everyone listening? So we jump in the shower, anybody could do it. You start with the 15, you get up to the 2 minutes. How do we breathe?
The breathing, you have to understand the principle that we breathe shallow. Because we wear clothes. We are not in nature no more. We don't have the direct stimulation. When something happens, you breathe automatically deeper. If you would be naked, you would automatically breathe deeper. You see what I mean? So, because we have a shallow breathing pattern, that's why the body gets slightly acidic. And when it long term is slightly acidic, it will cause diseases, autoimmune diseases. It will cause deregulation of the immune system. It will there will be more acidic blood inside your body than alkaline blood. Now I come to the breathing. These breathing techniques, they have proven themselves in the university to show in the blood, they took out the blood, that it makes the pH levels way up. And that is actually a pH level equal to mammals outside in nature.
Wow.
That's who we are. Our physiology is that of a mammal.
Yeah.
So the pH levels are too low. They need to go up. That's what the breathing exercises do. And they found out, Max. No, Max. It's Max. What is your name?
Oh, Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to address you as Tommy. Tommy, man. Yeah.
You call me anything you want.
Cool.
It don't matter to me. So now,
cool.
when you say breathing shallow,
Right.
well, when you say breathing shallow, does that mean just breathing regular? This episode is brought to you by Fiji. More than just water.
This is not just rock. It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water. It's Fiji water.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Breaking news, Manscaped now sells beard products. That's right, they are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. From a beard trim to a fresh shave, the technology behind Beard Hedger Pro Kit allows you to shave your signature beard look. Now you can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet by going to Manscaped.com and using code MSCS Media for 20% off and free shipping. No one likes a weird beard, so say goodbye to all the stubble trouble with Manscaped's Pro Beard Kit. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a monster of fixing faces. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. No more messing around in drawers, this color one, that color one, all with one guard. Plus, it's waterproof, so you can shave in the shower and avoid all that hair in the sink. The Pro Kit doesn't end there, though. First, there's the beard shampoo and conditioner. You need to remember your hair is different. Next, Manscaped's beard oil. Cap it off with beard balm. The Pro Kit also comes with 3 different gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code MSCS Media at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at Manscaped.com. Use the code MSCS Media. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Oh.
Our normal breathing is logically because we seek always comfort. That is one. And 2, we always wear clothes. And that is all fine as we are humans and developed in the brain. And we have our traditions and ethics and all. But in the end, we have a mammalian physiology. So that needs alkalinity in the blood. That needs stimulation on the skin. The skin is the biggest organ of ours. When we are naked, we feel the nature much more through the receptors in the skin. But now it's not there because we wear clothes all the time. So the stimulation is shallow. So our breathing becomes also shallow. And that, if that happens long time, then the pH level goes down. And that going too far down, long term, you don't notice it really, but it's not good for our health. It's not good for the condition of our nervous system, our immune system. our cardiovascular system. Look at our society. Cardiovascular related diseases, killer number one.
Mm-hmm.
Millions every year in the West. Millions and millions and millions. COVID didn't took as much. It happens all the time. All these diseases, they come because we don't have the right pH levels in the blood. And now, if you do the breathing exercises, you bring back the mammalian condition in the blood, which is the pH levels go up and they stay there all day long. This has been proven in the university, where they took the blood before and after and 5 hours later. And it still was the same high pH level, the natural mammalian pH condition in the blood. And then if that is long-term, too low, that causes a lot of deregulation in the immune system, cardiovascular system, lymphatic system, the whole thing. The biochemistry needs to be right. Now, this is what I have been shown directly in the university, that if a endotoxin, a bacteria, is injected and you do the breathing, then the bacteria has no influence on you.
The breathing,
amazing.
The breathing with the cold.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cold makes the cardiovascular system, transportation system, much better.
And then the breathing.
And then when you breathe deeper, it goes much better through the body. And then you become like, I know people who started to do this with the cold and the breathing. They just don't become sick no more. It's the hell for the pharmaceutical industry, I tell you.
I know. Believe me, I know. Believe me, I know when I tell you. Hey, Mr. Hoff, are they giving you a percentage of all this alkaline water that they suddenly came out with the pH? Are you getting a percentage of all that?
No, I don't get anything of that. And you know what? I don't need anything of that.
I it's just
because,
funny.
Yeah. And that's cool. I like it. I should be a billionaire.
Yeah, you should.
How many people I have saved their lives by bringing this to the world is millions. Millions. And that's what knowledge does. That is what sharing secrets of nature, sharing it to the community, to fellow humans. That's love. That's power. And that's love. I'm into that. That is giving me the blessings for my soul. You cannot buy that.
No.
And that's what I want.
And all my friends, I said, I got the Iceman coming on. I told him a month ago. And everybody wants to do it. Really, everybody wants to do it. They see you, and then they look up, the studies on the real sites. The real doctors say, hey, look, this will prevent heart attacks, this, that, the other, and some other stuff we're going to get into. And you know what? Everyone says, I don't have $7,000 for a float tank. I don't have $5,000 for this, that. Because you see how much these things are. It's just a big steel thing that you throw ice in. So a lot of people get discouraged because they're like, we don't have money to do that. But like you just said, you could just start in the shower, 2 minutes, breathe right, and then go get it sounds stupid, but just go get a blow-up thing and put ice in it. Hey, man,
right? I'm doing this already, Tommy. I'm doing this for 46 years.
Yeah.
I had no money back then. For at least for, say, 35 years, I had no money. I had 4 kids alone. That is what I had. I had to bring them up. What I did was cold showers, and in the winter, when it's freezing outside, every day outside. And for the rest, I did my breathing exercises. Doesn't cost anything. Cold shower doesn't cost anything. You got to shower anyway. And in the winter time, it's cold. The water is cold outside. That is more than enough. You don't need a tank. You don't need all these gadgets.
Wow.
You need you. You need your motivation. If you make the choice, and I'm showing that in brain scans, Tommy, that through going into the cold, through doing these breathing exercises, I got a whole of my sight. My brain, therefore, now they looks in the brain scans is completely different than a normal brain. It has so much more control because I awakened it by using my motivation to find something deeper within myself. And you have to break through this tiring motivation, which is only seeking excuses not to do it.
You mean bullshit?
Don't do it. Become happy, strong, and healthy. That is our natural state. The rest is bullshit, as you said. Yes.
Wow. So you don't even need to go by just the cold showers and the breathing. Wow. Now,
yes, and the winter time.
Yeah.
In the winter time, when it's cold outside, you remember this winter in America? What a man! That was a lot of snow, and the water gets cold. Even in California, it gets cold outside in the winter. There is no excuse. There's always natural bodies of water in the winter, and for the rest, cold showers and the breathing doesn't.
Wow. Now, I'm one of those guys. I've tried. I've had whoever. I can't seem to get into that meditative state. How important is the meditating to combine? To combine with the breathing and the cold shower or the cold. How important is that meditation to mix with it?
I say fuck meditation.
Thank you.
I don't want meditation.
Thank you.
Meditation, goodbye. Yeah.
All right.
They mystified. Yes.
Thank you.
How can you stop? Yeah, man.
I love this guy.
How can you stop thinking? How can you stop thinking?
I don't know.
Go into the cold. You stop thinking.
Yeah.
If you are making love to your wife, you are not thinking.
No.
If you go into the cold, you are not thinking.
Well, there's
this
our
is
meditation.
what it is.
There's our meditation.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes.
You're the best, Iceman. Anybody tells me to meditate again, I'm gonna fucking tell them, go get in a fucking cold shower and you can go sit there with your legs crossed.
Yes. Yeah. Holy! It's really. They saw this in the university.
Yeah.
They compared brain scans of people who meditate 4 hours a day for years.
Wasting time.
Mindfulness.
Wasting time.
4 hours a day for years. And then somebody doing the breathing exercises in 10 minutes, the one who is doing the breathing exercises go deeper inside the brain than the 4 hours practice for years doing the meditation. It's comparative brain scans. Brain scans do not lie.
Well, Mr. Hoff, we go back to what? Money. Because you pay for some weirdo to come tell you to go meditate and blah blah blah. When you could just go to your website, whatever, pay a little bit, and you get it all, and all you need is a freaking shower and to breathe.
Hey, Tommy, you don't need to go to my website. Just go on YouTube. It's all there. All the techniques are there. All the instructions are there. And let's just keep it simple.
Yeah.
We are built to be happy, strong, and healthy. And the rest is bullshit. That is the belief. If we believe that bullshit is ours, man, you become bullshit.
Yeah.
But if you believe that you are happy, strong, and healthy, and this is what we show in brain scans now. I show it. And then that's like the truth, facts. Then you become that.
Now, I'm on your website right now, and it will be on the screen. So we have video courses, Classic 10-week, free mini class, Power of the Mind.
Yeah.
You got everything on here. Products, your books.
Yeah, people want it.
Yeah,
if people want it, they can choose it. But I tell everybody, man, health, happiness, and strength is for free. But if you want to see me, we got to organize stuff and all. Okay, then we charge. Boom. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But for people who have no money, all the basics are for free. It's there. It's done. And all the science is done. So take it on. Have motivation in yourself. No excuse. Doesn't cost anything. You get the best out of yourself doing these techniques. They are very simple, very effective, powerful, and scientifically endorsed. So no speculation. It's simply what it is.
See, Iceman, you're a real good guy because, you've been with Tony Robbins, you broke 37,000 records. And what you're saying is like, look, I want to help even the person that has no money. I'm not, if you have some money and you want some extras, okay. But you could change your whole life for free. You and I both know 9 out of 10 people would be like, well, for $5.99, I'll give you the basics, but you're saying, look, you can get the basics for free and it will change everything. My stepdaughter, in a previous marriage, she had autoimmune disease. And let me tell you about this. Yeah. They kept saying, they told her she had, well, she did. She had kidney failure. She had liver failure, all this shit because they kept pumping her with drugs. They kept saying it was everything but an autoimmune disease. And this is a 17-year-old girl. And, she's ready to go to prom or whatever. And boom, this autoimmune thing hits. We're at doctor to doctor. She's crying. Tommy, help me. What do you want me to do? I don't know. And finally, 4 years later, they diagnosed her with autoimmune disease, and it's in remission. And as you noted, and in the PDF that we have up, this is one of the things that helps autoimmune disease. And a lot of people have autoimmune disease, but these fucking doctors come and say, oh, you have this, you have that, blah, 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 blah. And this method will help the autoimmune. This episode is sponsored by ZBiotics. What is ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic? The ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is a genetically engineered probiotic you drink before drinking alcohol to avoid that rough next morning and get back to living your life. PhD scientists invented it because they know the real problem is not dehydration. It's a toxic byproduct of alcohol. And ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the only product that breaks it down. Just remember to drink responsibly and plenty of rest too. Every time I have ZBiotics before drinking, I'm amazed at how good I feel the next day. ZBiotics is a must-have for me because it means I'm still going to make my daily workout even if I have a few drinks the night before. That's important to me. You can get ZBiotics for 15% off your first order using my code MSCS Media at checkout. I recommend getting the 6-pack. That's what I got. It's a great deal. You have a couple extra to share with friends. Go to zbiotics.com/MSCS Media. That's Z as in zebra, biotics, BIOTICS.com/MSCS Media, or scan the QR code on the screen right now and get 15% off your first order.
Yes. Autoimmune diseases is based on inflammation. Inflammation is infection.
Yeah.
And it's when the immune system attacks itself.
Yeah.
It is deregulated. And it can then hit on the liver, on the colitis, on the intestines, on the gut. Doesn't matter where it hits. It doesn't matter. It's based on inflammation. And we showed through specific breathing exercises in the university, how to bring down the cause and the effect of autoimmune disease.
Wow.
So
they hate you.
You know what it is? If people have rheumatoid conditions, arthritis, which is also an autoimmune disease, then the cost of every person is like between $600 and $2,500 a month. Oh, they don't want that to go away.
They hate you. Oh, they hate you. They hate you,
and
buddy.
These people, yes, and these people, we can bring them within 2 weeks to zero cost. And it doesn't cost anything. And that's what it is.
I know, and that's, and what's so crazy is since I've been doing the podcast and I talk to real doctors, a friend of mine had came in and listened to something, and he was spending all this money on a chiropractor, the chiropractor.
Yeah.
And this guy, he just told him, stretch this certain way. I don't know. I don't have any back problems. And he did something with the brain. You know, everybody was laughing at him because it's called zone therapy. And his name's Dr. Pete. Now, this is a doctor. It's kind of a funny story. And he realized, he's like, this chiropractic thing is just BS. It's bullshit. So he went and he studied what they did 100,000 years ago, back in the day when there wasn't, a doctor and everybody's sick.
Yeah.
And what they would do is they would touch certain parts of the brain, and there's like 8 different nerves, and each one of those affects, say your digestion, your back. This guy had back problems for 10 years, $125 a week at this chiropractor, literally for 2 minutes. And this is just like what we're talking about here with your method. He goes like this, like this, like this. Guy hasn't had a back problem in 8 months. But you'll never
exactly.
see it. Yeah. And it just relates to what we're talking about with what you got going on.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. It doesn't make money. It only brings health.
Dirty motherfucker.
What we do doesn't make money. It brings the wealth of the health. So, and it needs to be said to the people, needs to be discussed so the people begin to understand, hey, it's for free. It needs my motivation. But then I get a hold over my health, which is the biggest power you can imagine. If you have autonomy over your health, your happiness, your strength, that's the hormonal system, the immune system, then you are the master of your mind, over your mood, over the emotion, over life itself. And that's what we teach. You are born to be in charge of your own life force. It's nothing more than logic. So that made me look, in the beginning of my years, hey, there is more than meets the eye. But then I found the cold water ultimately, and then I knew this is it.
That was it.
I felt it inside. And until people don't feel it inside, I keep on going. Because you have to get in touch back with your natural condition, with your natural nervous system, in connection with your will. Because you should be able, by your will, voluntarily, to control your mind and your body. It's nothing more than logic. The rest is, we are built now and schooled now to fit into a system. And you see what the system is into? Yeah. COVID comes and we are completely out of order. Now they want to control us even more. We have to learn to control ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's this podcast about.
Now, what about how you hear, and to me, you're the expert. Now, what about when you hear, if you have a sauna, you jump in the sauna and then go right from the sauna to the cold? Is that good? Is that any more beneficial than just doing it there?
No, it is okay to do that. That's nice. But if you passively get heat inside your body, then passively, by going into a cold bath afterwards, it will go away. But if you go first into the cold, then you have to man up, psych up. You have to consciously exercise your mental power to make your body ready. That's what you miss out on.
Because you're already hot as hell. You're already hot as hell getting out of the sauna.
Yes.
So then when you jump in the cold water, sure you could sit in there for 2 minutes. Because for the first minute, you're just trying not to sweat. Huh. That's so like simple. But again, the way that they brainwash you, you think, okay, jump in the sauna because this guy said this, and then because you're sweating to death and you go into the cold, it's so good for your heart because it goes from hot to cold. But this isn't just about that. This is about mind control, because then once you can control your mind, then you control self. And once you can get a hold of self, then you can, not to sound like a weirdo, but then you can love, and you can love nature and look at a plant and,
Man, if stress comes out in daily life, and you have been exercising, going in the cold, directly, like psyching up, then you psych up automatically when there is stress in daily life.
Yep.
But you will not be able to do that if you go from the sauna into the cold.
Duh.
And you know what? In the end, to go from the hot sauna into the cold is not so good for your vascular system. They say it always. They want to sell or something. No, it is good for learning to psych up. Then adrenaline comes inside the body because your will does that. It's in connection with the hormonal system. That's the way we are built, but we never exercise. So it becomes strong before it goes into the cold. And that is very good for your heart. And then another thing, Tommy, they found out now we're in heart films, little heart films, then you can see what happens in the heart. They got these apparatus, these fMRIs, they have them. And they told me, if you do this breathing techniques, then after you learn to alkalize the blood, and when your blood is alkalized, you don't need to breathe. Say 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You don't need to breathe. After even exhalation, what happens after 1.5 minutes of not breathing, suddenly 5 times more blood will be flushed into the heart and into the brain. That's why we feel so good when we do this. And this is what happens when you do these breathing techniques. It's like deep massaging the heart. It's flushing the heart. It's like a toilet. You got to clean the shit out of the toilet.
Yeah.
Pull the trigger, man.
Yeah.
Pull the lever. Then it goes and it flushes. And that's the way we found now how to flush more blood into the heart, by which it cleanses. It gets a boost.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's amazing. The cardiologists, they say this is the future.
Yeah.
Natural ways how to flush your heart. That is like what all the clutter gets out. All the shit gets out. The heart attacks, they come because the clutter more close. And then we get a heart attack. And now the clutter gets cleansed like a toilet. It gets cleansed. So simple.
Yeah. It's like a plunger. Like, like when your toilet gets clogged, what we're talking about is just like a plunger. You plunge it, it can move, and you get more blood moving. Now,
it's like the plunger, and then we don't need the butcher anymore. You know, the surgeons.
See,
the surgeons want to cut into your body and cleanse the body and do this.
Yeah.
We don't need the butcher. We need the plumber. And we are the plumber of ourselves. Well, we clean ourselves.
Well, the fucking surgeon wants to do it so he can make his gazillion dollars from the insurance company and then prescribe you a You know those pill things that say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? They know they don't need to cut you. They fucking know that. But they want to cut you, bill you $50,000, and then go do and then you're walking around with a pill bottle, a pill thing that says A, B, C, D, and each one of those pills makes you lazy, messes with your brain.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get it with the stress and the depression, because if you can go in that shower and you can do that cold for, say, 2 minutes, then when you're in a stressful situation, or you're in, you start to get anxiety, or you're depressed and you're down, now because you went in that shower and you could do it for 2 or 3 minutes, now you know how to breathe. So now when the stress comes in, and tell me if I'm wrong, then when the anxiety comes, you breathe shallow. And then over time, it goes away. Do I have it right?
There it is. Boom.
I'm not so stupid.
That is amazing for those who lose themselves into anxiety. Yeah. Well explained.
And the anxiety now is through the roof. Everybody I talk to has anxiety.
Yes. So here it is, guys. Take on the damn cold shower. Yeah. It's going to do you so much good. Do the breathing exercise when you really are out of the roof inside, or in other words, when you are fucked up in whatever sense. Do the breathing. You get back into the mood control. That's the way nature provided us with the techniques to go deeply within, to be the plumber, to be the cleaner, and to act normal, to be happy, strong, and healthy. Everybody. That's it.
And
Yeah.
how has the Wim Hof method, how has that helped? I know it has. People that were addicted to drugs, alcohol, trying to come off of it. How has that helped? I can see that helping.
Yes. The thing is, that's another one. I always say, get high on your own supply. Get high on your own supply.
Yeah.
And that is within. We got a whole pharmacy inside our brain. It's the money system that made us buy. They come up and they show, oh, take a little of this. This just makes you feel so nice. No, we have to learn from being young. We have to teach our children to be happy, strong, and healthy. So we are never in need of some external drug to make us feel happy, strong, and healthy. That is one. So we need to get into the schooling system, and we are doing that already, because children should learn through the parents, through the teachers, how to be happy, strong, and healthy.
And self.
Which is more important than mathematics and English and language and literature. No, be happy, strong, and healthy unconditionally. That is simply there. But if you don't use it, you lose it, and that's the way the society works. We become dualistic. We as estranged in our own bodies, and we feel miserable. Feeling stressed and miserable is only a sign that we are not in connection with our deeper physiology. So we bring that back. Now, once people get addicted, it's because now they need extra drugs because the other drugs, they don't work as good anymore. The body adapts to that amount of drugs, so it needs more drugs to get the same feeling with the lesser of drugs. Now more drugs need more, and then you get overdoses. You get sick. Logical, because the natural reaction of the body is that you should not need drugs.
Right.
When you feel bad, don't go into drugs. Your body is saying you are not connected. And through these techniques, you get connection. And then you don't need to get into the path of needing drugs to make you feel a little. When people, once they are addicted and they start to do these breathing techniques and the cold, man, very soon they get a hold of themselves, and then they can break the loop.
And then
what it is.
And then whether it's alcohol, cocaine, whatever it may be, then it goes back to what we said earlier with the anxiety and depression. When you go to want to do it, you breathe, you have the breathing down. I can see how all this I see how it all works. Fucking crazy.
Yes.
Fucking crazy.
You got it.
Now
you talk like a Buddha. Now,
I'm listen. These Buddha guys, they know more than they know. They are in the know. Because they are within. This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy. This episode is brought to you by Let's Get Checked. Are you the man your father was? Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels have dropped substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Think about how old your father was when he was born. For example, if he was 30, your testosterone levels could be 30% lower than his. Low testosterone levels can have all type of health effects on men. It can affect your mood, sex drive, memory, muscle mass loss, you name it. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but it can affect men at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in a discreet packaging with next-day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. So, if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS Media and get 25% off your test using the code MSCS Media. The link is in the description at the top. And when somebody
Like
looks at you,
what you say right now,
yeah,
Tommy, what you say right now is now the third time. You come back to the same metaphor. You come back to the same basics. Hey, man, when the drugs, the addiction, when the anxiety, the stress, when it all happens, when your mood is out of regulation, think about the shower. Think about the cold. You learn to stay cool in the eye of the hurricane.
yeah,
And then when it all happens in whatever situation of life, you stay in the eye of the hurricane. That is a Buddha.
yeah,
A Buddha is within it, but not attached.
yeah.
And that's what you have been explaining. So you are a learned meditator, Buddhist.
I'll take that any day. I'm gonna hang that on the wall. and
Yeah, man.
and Iceman said it.
You got it. You got it.
Now you had gotten COVID, right? And through your method, you beat COVID.
Yeah, they told me I had it
Oh, they told you.
in the most protected protocol
Fuck.
area with the BBC. And they caused it. I told them, don't swap so deep into my throat because I'm negative all the time. But if you want to make me sick, then keep on swapping this shit. Keep on messing with my first line of defense is inside here. That's a defense line. But if you begin to swap, you take it away and you bring in shit. And that's what they did. But I was okay. I did my breathing and it was gone. So there it is. Even when bacteria will be injected or a virus, I can make it go away.
And that's just through and I get it. It's
Don't get anybody else.
It's through the cold and the breathing because that gets the blood flowing. It gets everything. It activates the neurons, the beta antagonists in your brains. It gets all them firing. And kind of like an autoimmune disease, it realizes, wait, this isn't supposed to be here. And because because you get everything regulated, it just boots it. It basically shits it out. Now, what symptoms of COVID did you have? Did you even have any symptoms? I never wore a mask. I'm in Florida, but I never wore a mask. I never wore gloves. And as far as I know, I never got it. And I've had people flying during COVID, and they would call me and they'd be like, "Hey, just to let you know, I was tested positive for COVID." And okay.
I embrace so many people with COVID, and I never got it.
I never got it.
It was only with the BBC, with the most protected protocol environment, that I got it. They found positive, me being positive, but through this PCR test.
Oh, the rapid test.
That is a shit test. It's all. It all is really a lie.
Oh yeah,
it's of no good. I didn't feel.
Nothing.
I didn't feel too much.
No?
I didn't feel too much. No.
No.
And just one day I was a little bit. Hey, what is it? They said I'm positive. Well, I was there. Was okay, and did some breathing, And yeah, I did my 12 episodes with the BBC. After the 10 days of quarantine, they put me 10 days in quarantine.
10 days.
Only 1 week I had left to do 12 episodes flawlessly. Easy does it. Easy peasy.
That's what the Iceman does, buddy.
Yes. We are strong.
That's
good.
right. Now,
Focused.
what's your diet like? What's your diet like?
I say eat food, not processed food. Don't eat processed food, because processed food is not food.
I know.
That's chemistry.
But
So,
in
yeah,
America, man, China bought
It's
everything.
bad.
They
It's
bought
bad.
everything. They eat like these, even like you know, I'm Italian. My whole family's from Italy. You can't. And a friend of mine who has a big steakhouse, he has to go through all this shit to get meat because, you know, we go to butchers, like, you know, like where you cut the cow right then and there. How do you know? Like, how do you know where to go now? Like in America, man, and I mean, it might say butcher, it might say fresh or this organic bullshit, but you and I both know it's not. How do you know? Unless I go out there and kill it myself, how do I know?
Yeah. No, there is no way you can know anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, the food industry really got into the whole economy, in the governments, in the lobbyists, all that. It's all there. So try to buy food as much as you can.
Like where do you go to get
Simple.
where do you go to get your food, and what do you like? What'd you eat yesterday?
Yesterday I was in Germany, leaving Poland.
Holy hell.
I got a very nice breakfast of these people in that hotel, and mostly, whatever there is there. I'm a good eater, you know. My appetite makes me eat anything with good saliva, with good appetite. You can change anything you get inside, and get energy out of it. Now that is one thing. Food needs to be food, but if you do the breathing well, breathing exercises, you create also energy. And if you do the cold showers, the energy transportation system works a lot better, creating a lot more energy. So you need a lot less food.
See,
that's the big thing.
The problem is, Mr. Hoff, the problem is the USA is so fucked. It's so fucked. So, like, I know when you go to Germany, you go to Italy, you go to Netherlands, you go to countries like that, you're going to get fresh food. Here, Iceman, you're not going to get it. You're not there. There's nowhere to go where you could say, other than my one friend who he drives to Missouri, which is, you know, 16 hours away in a Big Mac truck that's cold, and brings it back. Well, he's Italian and he's, you know, a gazillion years old, and he's not eating this bullshit, you know. Other than, how non-American people are, you know, we're not eating this shit.
Yeah.
So if you're in America, you know, and we're doing, you know, your method, and we can't, you know, we're trying to find non-processed foods. What would you recommend for someone who's here in this shithole? And it is a shithole here.
Yes. Yes, it is. The breathing exercises create more energy. And once you have more energy, it will help process the processed food.
Okay.
It will help better to process the shitty food and distill the energy out of it.
So it can almost make
there it goes. That's what I can say.
So it can almost like cancel it out. So if you try to find the best that you can, but if you can't, if you do your method and you do it correctly, stably, you know, not just for today or tomorrow, you continue to do it. It will get rid of it. I mean, Christ, if it can get rid of all these other things we're going to talk about, I mean, I would think it could get rid of the process.
All the toxins.
Yeah.
It will get rid of the toxins. That is a fact. We showed how to get rid of toxins inside the blood in the university. So
And when you eat
processed food
it's
creates toxins.
That's interesting. You know, I think I would call WHM a nootropic, a natural nootropic. You know, like they have all these nootropics, like this pill, that pill, this whatever. This seems to me like a natural nootropic because, you know, the studies that they do publish, it's always inflammation, but it's so much more than inflammation. The depression, the stress. And then I wanted to ask you about the, tell me if I'm saying this wrong, the sympathetic nervous system. And we've talked about that, but if you could elaborate a little bit more on that for maybe middle-aged people, younger people. And one thing I want to point out that you said, it's so important to do this to your kids when they're young, because then that way we go back for the fourth time. They love self. They're in touch with self. And then if they want to do A, B, C, D, or E, they don't have some weirdo in school in the United States telling them to do this or saying this, because they're already in touch with self. I just wanted to bring that up again because I think that's really important, Mr. Hoff.
So if I go back, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system is called the autonomic nervous system, which was considered in science to be impossible to go into, to control. But we found through these techniques how to control it. So there we changed science. We changed it. And this gives every person autonomy over the autonomic nervous system. Not only the autonomic nervous system, also the autonomous processes in the brain, which was outside. Autonomic means outside of our control. Now it's inside of our control. And with that control, we are able to tackle all the modern day diseases and issues, from stress, depression, to autoimmune, to having a healthy self. Then cancer doesn't come. Cardiovascular diseases don't come. Depression doesn't come. It's all based in inflammation. And if you are in connection with the autonomic nervous system, you are able to activate the adrenal axis, goes from the brain to the adrenal glands, and that is the epinephrine. That is the adrenal spike. And what happens when you are in control of the adrenal spike? Anything that should not be in the body will be evicted, regardless what it is. Toxins, stress, cortisol, anything that is interfering with the utmost of functionality of the body to face danger will be gotten out of the body no time. And one thing which is danger is inflammation caused by bacteria and virus. That then will be evicted, suppressed, and inflammation causing depression as well. So that's what we give the children. That's what we give a middle-aged person. I'm 64. I'm fucking strong.
You mean 34?
Every day.
You mean
yes?
You're 34.
I train with the best. I train with the best fighters of the world.
I know.
They come to me. Man, I got power. You don't. You know what happens with my power inside? It's not. You can't see it. But I can beat people with 3 times more muscles. Why? Because when you go into the cold, you don't see me moving, but the body inside is moving like hell, enormously. So the functionality of the tendons, the muscle tissue, the organs, etc., it's all exercised to the best. If I stay 1 hour in icy water, that kills a normal person. But me inside, the condition has become so much more functional, which we don't know of because we never went into the cold. And so it is. what I say to middle-aged people, to young people, and to older people, I use the principle of the rabbit, the mammal. One day before the rabbit dies, he's still able to flee, fight, find food. So let's get back to that power. We got him. And now we can do that consciously because we got the whole science done. And we want to give people the health, the strength, and the happiness as it is a part of the autonomy given by Mother Nature itself. Let's respect Mother Nature again.
And why can the rabbit do that? The rabbit can do that because it goes through the freezing, the hot, the cold. It has to. It doesn't have a choice. It can't put on a coat and go into the heat and turn on the air conditioner.
Yeah, just not there.
And to think,
no jacuzzi.
No jacuzzi. And to think that we don't have some relation to even a rabbit, to me, is just you're just a moron. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. Thinking that we are not related to mammalian nature and physiology is ignorance to the best.
Yeah.
And it should not be there. Come on. Get out.
Get out. I'm with you. I'm glad how you broke down information, because whenever you say information, somebody thinks, like an NFL player, over there, they call it football, soccer player, whatever, they hurt their leg, whatever. But it's so much more. I really liked how you described that information, they present it to us like it's a guy who played 4 quarters in a game, or, went and boxed 6 rounds and he's going in the tank to get rid of inflammation. But the inflammation is the basis to cancer, to disease, to heart issues, to everything else. So when we read some of the studies that they make very broad because they're making too much money, when they say inflammation, and they're saying that because they're saying, well, in my opinion, they're saying, well, the Iceman's method does work, so we better put something up here. So we're just going to say inflammation because we brainwash everybody that inflammation is just a swollen knee. So, we'll publish it like that, but we'll leave out the part that also means cancer, heart attacks, strokes, everything else, and so on, right?
Exactly. And that is what we found in 2014 with the publication in the best scientific papers of the world.
Yeah, you have them all.
Oh, good?
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I'm pulling up that you have them all. You have them all.
The
Wim Hof method, it's all right there. The meteors, it's all there.
It's proven. It's proven that it brings down inflammation. And inflammation, Tommy, is the cause and effect of every disease. Of course, they don't want to link up and show that we found the keys. We found the keys to autonomy inside. We found the keys how to battle the cause and effect of disease. They don't want to investigate into that. It takes time because you take away the money scheme.
Yeah.
You take away the narrative. That's dangerous for them. I mean, to me, I love everybody.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
I want to give love and power to everybody. But one thing is, leave my kids alone. I want to bring up my kids with the guarantee to be happy, strong, and healthy. So I wish your kids to be happy, strong, and healthy. I also wish the pharmaceutical director, his kids, happy, strong, and healthy. But don't come and push your pills when we found natural ways to be happy, strong, and healthy. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
And for that, because that is not happening directly, for that we have to talk like this.
Yep.
And bring it out to millions of people. Awaken people just with common knowledge.
And the couple drugs that do work, at least here in the USA, the couple, 1 or 2 that do work, that actually work, they banned them. Guess why they banned them? Guess why they banned them? They banned them.
I don't know.
No, they banned them because one of them is called a flue top, which comes from an owl. Okay, so you could do. I don't know if it seems like your method would work for this, but before I talk to you, with a flue top, you could get 10 ampules, and instead of having rotator cuff surgery or Tommy John surgery, they're taking it from an owl. We're related to them in some way, shape, or form, animal, human. So you could do 10 shots of the flue top, no more surgery. So they came in and they made it like, oh, well, the owl that they're taking it from is endangered. So now we're banning it and we're scheduling as if it's fucking cocaine. So now you have to go get surgery. And this is the best part. You'll love this shit. So then they go make a synthetic flue top that's not from an animal, that's not from a plant, and it doesn't do shit. So then they say, this is what they do. You'll love Iceman. You're gonna love this. So they say, oh, you ripped your rotator cuff. Okay, we'll take this a flue whatever that we made in the lab over here. Take it for 3 months. If it doesn't work, then we'll send you in for surgery. So now they make money on the 3 months of surgery or the 3 months of the pill that there's some jerk off made over there, right? And then, all right. And the doctor's just going like this, going, He's getting that billing ready. He's getting that fucking bill ready for the insurance.
Yeah.
He's just waiting.
They know what they do. Yeah. I got you.
He's like,
man.
3 months later, the guy comes.
And they sell you stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, make sure you take this vitamin with it and that vitamin with it, and then you go and then a week later you go see, the whole rack at Walmart of the vitamins got tested and there was nothing in them. You see it for one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just so.
It is a scheme. It is a scheme, and it is so normalized that people they just don't see it. They are in it, and I think even the doctors, they more or less don't see it. They think there is no other way. We have to make our money. Also, we are just in the life. This is the way. When the shit hits the fan, that's what happens. We can't do anything about it. And now we come in and we take all the shit out.
Yeah.
Why? Because all what has sneakingly developed itself and normalized, and in the doctors and in the patients, is a lot of shit because of money, because of the wrong drive. It's not the drive to make people healthy anymore. It's the drive to make money. And it has come to the ceiling. It's too much now. So then suddenly it's like the clothes of the emperor.
Yeah.
Who thought he had clothes on.
Yeah.
But he didn't have clothes on, and he was just naked. And that little girl, hey, what do? You are naked. And then they got it,
Yeah.
We are like the innocent. We are children. Like we come with innocence. Common knowledge, and I have to show it in the university, otherwise the people don't take it, because they are all brainwashed. Everything the doctors know because they are the wise guys. They got the knowledge of the university, no speculation about it. So they didn't believe me. But now the whole scheme, even the universities, the pharmaceutical industry's claws are everywhere. And I think, man, they don't understand anymore what is common sense. But here we are.
Yeah.
We are going to rise, and we're going to bring it, and we're going to take it down. What needs to be down, we're going to take it down. And what needs to rise, we're going to make it rise. And that is consciousness in people. Bring the autonomy. Bring simple breathing. A little bit of cold. And the belief back that we are built to be happy, strong, and healthy. It's what I want for my kids, man. Nobody's going to say no because it's common sense. But I had to go through the universities. I had to go show that it is normal to be able to guarantee happiness, strength, and health without the aid of all that shit.
Yeah.
I had to go through it. I did it, and now here it is. And this is what we bring.
And you know what? And I think there's two things with some of these doctors. One, these doctors have an ego, and they know that they're wrong. They know that things have changed, but they don't want to go against what they've been saying for the last 50 years. They don't want to go against the grain. So they just say the same old shit over and over again. Like the ones that aren't worried about the money, they don't want to go against the grain, and they don't want to be wrong because of an ego. And then the other thing I know for sure is that they don't want to be that doctor that goes in and says, hey, all this shit is wrong. We need to rewrite everything. We need to rewrite everything. Even in the school, when you go to science class, instead of, I don't even know if they have science class anymore where you do like a thing on a frog. You probably do a thing on, some like some transgender fucking bullshit. Who knows what they do?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I'm afraid to know. But, they should go in there and say, hey, look, this is the science we've seen. Put your hand in cold. Like stuff like that. But they don't want to rewrite it. They don't want to rewrite it. They don't want to redo it. They don't want to be the one that goes against the grain.
Yeah, if you hear Dr. Maloney.
Yeah, he was in last week.
Malone.
Yeah, he was
Malone,
here.
For example.
Yeah, he was here last week.
Yeah. Then these people, they are talking about this.
Yeah.
So what I'm showing, Tommy, is natural ways, and bring back the over-complicated knowledge, too abstracted to understand. Then they push through all kinds of shit where from it is shit, but you can't do anything anymore. So I just take that shit. I say, be happy, healthy, and strong. Rest is bullshit. Like we said in the beginning, the bullshit. I don't take bullshit no more. That's what it is. The science is already done. I'm not going to go into discussion with these people because these people, they just want to prove themselves right in their narrative while the people die around them. They are still bringing out that narrative as if they tell the truth. They are crazy. They are, it's the old paradigm. They are dying. The new ones will come, and there we will show harmony with nature, means harmony inside, outside. And there is happiness, strength, and health for everybody. And it's not complicated. It doesn't cost anything. It's there. That's nature. That's our inner and our nature coming together. That's the way your mother wants it. Your father wants it for the children. And let's not get the family more into danger. Bring back simplicity. It's there. It's for free. It's strong. Very strong.
And when I started really researching you yesterday, and like I said, it's like 3 a.m. last night, I realized, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I watched you on the TED Talk thing where you're in the ice box and they keep dumping it in, and I looked at all the records, and I'm not speaking for you. I'm just asking you if I'm correct. I saw it 2 ways. That's yourself. But I also saw it as another way because you didn't seem like a guy to me that really gives a shit about 30,000 people calling your name or whatever. You don't seem like a guy who really gives a shit. But I think, in my opinion, what I started to see was, okay, the doctors they're not going to publish this. The doctors sure as hell aren't going to say, hey, look, instead of surgery, try this first because they know it will work. So the only way you can get that out there is to go on a TED Talk or to go climb Mount Everest and show specifically the TED Talk one where you're in the icebox where, you got 3, 4, 5 million views to show you don't give a fuck if there's 3 million people there. But it's a way to show that it can be done. And there's no difference between you and me or Scott or anybody else. We're all the same, right?
Exactly.
And you just excelled at it. That was yourself. So you could do these extreme things. And the only way to get it out there was to do these crazy, at the time, insane, unheard of things. But you were doing it for a good cause.
Yes, I was. Because long before I was doing the world records, I was doing it already for 30 years on my own.
Yeah.
And it was not records. It was just the cold showers, the ice in the winter, and the breathing exercises, and the believing that we are to be happy, to find our soul. So I got that now. And I used Discovery Channel, National Geographic, 2020, BBC, Hollywood film is being made now of my life. And it's coming out. I use it all. I always say, use and abuse my name, but do good. Bring the goodness back to where it belongs. And that is in every person in the world. And I use any strategy, any tactics to get it out there. So everybody is able to make their own non-dogmatic choice to be happy, strong, and healthy. It's for free. It's there. Boom. That's the way.
And we'll have everything in the description so everybody can go see it, our websites, YouTube, everything. I just want to ask you about a couple of the records. We would be here all day if we went through them all. But the one,
good talking, Terry.
Yeah, the one, the Mount Everest one. I mean, I'm sure you've been asked this 100 times, or 100,000 times. But when you climb Mount Everest, what gave you that idea, and what kind of preparation did you go into going into that? And maybe not scariest time, but during that, what was one of the, maybe where you're kind of like a little bit like,
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Aurora. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is? For years, this crime rate has been surging and affecting millions of Americans. I'm talking about identity theft, and there's a new victim every 14 seconds. Yet despite this, those who have had their identity stolen are often shocked when it happens. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aurora, who is sponsoring this video. Aurora is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software all into one easy-to-use app. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. Protect you and your family from America's fastest growing crime. Try Aurora for free for 2 weeks and see if you or anyone in your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial today. Go to aurora.com/MSCS. The link is in the description below.
So, first of all, I like to go into the unknown. That's what I've learned by challenging my body and my mind by something that never has been done. It's like going into the unknown. So, now, the Mount Everest was being done with oxygen and clothes. And then it was being done with clothes alone. And then I thought, hey, man, I'm not going to use oxygen. I'm not going to use clothes. I'm going to go in my shorts. And that's what I did. So I went into the unknown. And one big thing I found on Mount Everest was when I got at 18,000 feet, I got into a snowstorm, a whiteout. It's called a whiteout. And I was there just in my shorts.
Oh.
And there is no direction there. You are lost. You can't see anything. And I was unknown with the situation. But you know what, Tommy? I felt great. I felt confident. I didn't feel the paranoia, what people normally expect in situations like that. It was not there. And that is a great finding. You cannot find those things in books. You cannot find teachers who teach you that. You have to challenge yourself into the unknown. And then you find there is much more to know inside than there is known here on the earth. And as long as there is all kinds of diseases, depression, etc., then I don't like to go on the trodden pathways. I want to go into the unknown to find happiness, strength, and health, to find my soul. And that's what I did. There I found the friendship with the harsh nature, which was not harsh at all. It brought me to a depth inside which was unknown to me. And it was beautiful. So that from there, I just went up more, but that was actually my biggest revelation at that on that mountain.
When that was blowing at you like crazy, that was the that was the toughest part.
For hours on end, I was inside,
imagine that.
And there was no problem at all. That is our inner power.
Yeah.
It only gets there. It's not muscle. It is deepening inside. When the deeper physiology comes to life, it's beautiful. Just beautiful. And it's where the soul begins. That is so much power. The soul is unbreakable, is eternal, does not know the fear of death. It is alive. And it's amazing.
And then when you got up, talk about the beauty, because I always like to hear about the beauty. Like, you accomplished it, you got the record, congratulations. But how about the beauty? Just looking and seeing things, how about talk a little bit about just the beauty of it.
Yeah, the aesthetics of it all is, you really feel invincible. Do you know what is beauty? When you see a beautiful woman, you do anything to get there. Like, there is no obstacle. There is no fear. You are just serving the beauty. And you love it. When you are going into challenges of life, you go into the beauty of being fearless, of being stronger than that. Because you are in your soul. And that is what a beautiful woman does. That is what a beautiful challenge does. It makes you invincible. And that's what I experienced. That was my drive. I felt I can do anything. Amazing.
That's awesome. Now, what about, am I saying this right? Kilimanjaro? Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Now, did your journalist go? Did the journalist go with you?
Scott Carney.
Yeah, did Scott go with you?
I trained him first. First, he came to one of my retreats to debunk me. He is an investigative journalist. And he was there to debunk me. But then he became my biggest fan because he saw it all works. It is all effective. It is real. And then finally, he came with me on Mount Kilimanjaro in his shorts. And we did it in a record time. I mean, normally that mountain, with 40% of people who are able to succeed to summit, we went up. Normally it is being done between 5 and 9 days, fully dressed, because up there is half the oxygen and very cold. So we did it in 28 hours. 28 and a half hours.
Wow.
That is something more than 1 day instead of 5 to 9 days. So we did that. And not only me and him, but there I showed that the breathing is able to tackle what we call acute mountain sickness. That means too less concentration of oxygen creates edema. Edema means fluids in the brain and in the lungs. But that is a normal physiological loss, the acute mountain sickness. And nobody knows how to tackle it. We just did it. And I made, the last time I went there, my oldest participant, he was 76 years old. He had no former experience in mountain climbing. And he was suffering from Lyme's disease.
Oh, shit.
But the man was motivated. And he did it in 31 hours.
Wow.
In his shorts.
Now, let me get this straight. Scott comes to debunk you. just a journalist.
Yes.
Right? Because this now nobody on the planet could say the WHM, the method is bullshit. No one in the planet. So a journalist who like types and writes, Scott's, no, I'm complimenting him.
He's an anthropologist and investigative journalist.
Okay, but he doesn't climb mountains. Okay, so he comes to debunk you, and next thing you know, he's climbing it with you in the cold in record time. Just so a normal guy who's a journalist goes to you to debunk you, can't debunk you, and ends up not with like some rope and some helicopter where he goes back and gets warm while you're climbing. He climbs it with you from what you taught him.
Yes.
What more proof do you need than that? And then he writes a book.
What more proof do we need?
You don't need any more proof than that.
With that, what more proof do we need to say anybody can do it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But I just think it's so funny. That's why I keep saying it. You have a journalist who sits at a desk maybe at the time and does this, and next thing you know, he's breaking a world record with you. So if he could do it.
Yes, sir.
Because they always look at it like, the Iceman, well, he's built different, he's this, he's that. No. A journalist who came to debunk you broke the record with you in the freezing cold in an insane climb. I actually thought maybe like they had a little, helicopter there for him to get warmed up to, have a nice steak dinner or some shit. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. He wished, but he didn't wish.
Yeah.
His wish was to do it for real, because the victory you feel when you have done it is like a victory on your soul.
Now,
it's amazing.
Now, what was the one? I can't remember what it was called. I should have written it down. It was a swim in the freezing cold, and the first attempt
under the ice.
Under the ice, and you
horizontal. I lost my vision.
Yeah,
I had no goggles on.
You could see now.
Freezing
though, right?
Because yes, we are no seals. We are mammals, but not seals.
Right.
They are mammals too, and they have extra layer on their eyes
of protection
against the freezing conditions. So they stay cool. They stay with clear vision, but not humans. So after 35 meters, like 40 yards, I lost vision of the ice, under the ice, in my shorts, breath hold.
Now it took 2 attempts. What happened the first attempt?
So the first attempt, I lost track of the hole. I couldn't see it. I was like twice the world record distance already under the ice, trying to find the hole.
How cold?
So, yes.
How cold in American? How cold was it in?
That is like, it's freezing water.
Yeah.
It's like freezing water in your shorts, breath hold, over the 100 yards already down under, and then trying to find the hole. You cannot find it. Imagine how much claustrophobia, how much agony, how much drowning, and nothing. I was completely in control there.
Because of the breathing.
Yes. And then a diver, he dove in and he got me underneath by the ankle back to the 60-yard hole. And the first thing I did was automatically, but in that moment, I realized it's like in a flash. I lost fear of death. Was completely gone. It comes, boom, there it is. It's nothing but an idea, death. And I got it right over there. That's why what is not in the books is out in nature. And you can challenge yourself in nature. You will never go too far, because once you learn to go, challenge yourself, you are in your feeling. You don't do crazy shit. You only do crazy shit if you are an adrenaline junkie or something.
Right.
But the way I went into the cold was always very calculated, very calculated. So I learned to have great deep control inside, and there I taught myself things which are not in the books, and now I change the books. That's what I do. I teach the professors, I teach the doctors all over the world now. Why? Because I trained my physiology of the mind and body through the nature of what is not in the books, but what should be in the books.
Should be in the books. Hell yeah, it should be in the books. Now, how long did it take to get your vision back?
Oh, directly.
Fuck, really?
Almost directly.
It came right back.
Yes. Yeah.
They write about it like you couldn't see for a year. You know, well, you know why.
Some people
you know why
write
they,
stuff.
you know why they do that. You know why. You know why to say,
Yes.
don't do it.
Yeah. Don't do what he is doing, because you will lose sight. You will become very weak. You will become crazy, schizophrenic. I don't know what they say. It doesn't matter.
Who cares?
I just keep on going because I believe in the good of the soul, and I'm reaching out now to millions of physiotherapists and doctors through a shortened course, and show that it works, and they can just have it there. And there will be a lot of physiotherapists, chiropractors, or doctors, GPs taking it on. But I'm now into presenting that. I'm into making that the right way so it gets out all over the world. Because it does it already, but I want it officially.
No, you got to keep doing. You got to keep doing podcasts, keep pushing it, because this is real. This is real. And like you said, when I have Dr. Robert Malone's here 3 times, I asked him about it. He was all about it. I had Peter McCullough twice. He was all about it. Like, these are the top guys in America, and they're all they're all for it. Now, people watch you, in the ice tank and breaking all these records. What the people that are extreme, the extremists, or they get addicted to it and they want to push it way too far to impress their girlfriend or whatever. What they don't realize is that you've been doing this for years and years and years, and it's not like you just
46 years.
46 years. It's not like you just jumped into the fucking ocean at 20 degrees and did this. You worked your way to be able to do that point. So when somebody sees this and they want to get into it more, what words of caution would you give? Because those listening, the guy didn't just wake up like today. That would be like me saying, "Hey, Iceman, I'm going to go jump in the Antarctica tomorrow." You know what I mean? So what it's
100 meters in 10 seconds and less.
I'm going to ask you. Yeah. So what's some words of caution? Just build up to it, right? It's that simple.
Yes. Do not force. There is no need for forcing your body. Start slowly, gradually. Very rapidly, you will get into your natural condition. And the natural condition is unless you are not in control over your health, happiness, and strength, keep on doing this. But gradually, in 10 days, you are transformed. You are different. I hear so many thousands of people telling me, since I'm doing your method, simply, not the crazy shit I'm doing, since I'm doing it, I'm not sick anymore. And I feel bloody great. Thank you, Iceman. So that's what I wish for everybody.
And then tell me about the Arctic Circle Marathon. That's some shit, buddy. That's some real shit.
Yeah,
that's some real shit.
Man.
That's some real. That's some. Let me find somebody else who could do it. Like these marathon runners. Come on, you try it. That's some shit, pal.
No, that's different shit. Why? Yeah, I was with the audio man. This is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's how
I was with the audio man. Yes, the night before, I was going to run a marathon barefoot beyond in midwinter, beyond the
Arctic
polar circle. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like doubting a little bit. I was talking to the audio man because the Discovery Channel was there. And I was there and I was talking to him. And then he said, he gave me a great advice. And I was like a bit anxious about what was going to come the other day. Because tomorrow I just got to do something never been done. And then he said to me, just run like fuck. And it really hit me. It really hit me, man. And I thought, shit, yeah,
Let's
I'm
go.
going to do it.
Let's go. Right?
Yeah.
And take me through it. Just take me through it. You take the shoes off.
And then, I did it. I did it, and it was much easier than I thought. Don't depend on your thinking. Believe in your power, which is more than what you can think. Your thinking holds you back. Rely on your inner power, in your belief, which is connected with the whole of your body, which has much more power in check than your mind is able to control.
God, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please finish.
No, yeah. So the other day, it's like the soup is never as hot as they say it is, as it has been served. You know? But once you eat it, oh, it's okay. It's okay. When the day arrived and I was there, I just felt great. I felt light. My mind had made me heavy and anxious. But at the day itself, I felt just okay. Great. Light. Began to run, began to make jokes with the people, with the camera team, and running and dancing, you know?
Yeah. He's in the Arctic Circle, running a marathon barefoot, laughing, joking, and everybody's like, "This guy." But you know, but it all goes back to the very beginning, right? You know, it all goes back. Like we're laughing and joking, but it all goes back to being within. That's a funny one. I'm sorry, man. I was dying laughing watching that shit. He's going nuts. I mean, he's moving too. I mean, moving. You were moving, Iceman, buddy. You were moving too.
Man, we are alive, Tommy.
Yeah.
And as we are alive, we better get it all out. Because we should bloom. We should be like strong like trees, beautiful like flowers. We serve. And we serve our people. We are there I'm here for my children. I'm here for you and your children.
Thank you.
You are there for my children.
Yes.
That's what we do. And we are strong. And we take it all on. No matter what.
No matter what.
That's it. Boom.
Now, out of 26, 27, probably even more than that, you don't even know, records that you broke, which one to you, whether it was a big one, small one, who cares? Nobody cares. You know, I could tell how you are. Like, we're old school. Like, you know, over in the United States, you say old school. That means, you know,
I got you.
You know, your grandpa came in, like my grandpa came in at 6'7", and if it was 5:15, why aren't you up delivering newspapers? And my mom would come out and be like, "You're gonna let him sleep." And my grandpa would go take that belt, get out there and do them papers, boy. You got school. If you want that $5 loan.
5 years.
Yeah.
I did that 5 years. 5 years since from 12 to 17 years, I did newspapers. And you know what? There was a event going on, and there was a bike. And the bike, they were looking in 1 minute who is the fastest with the heaviest of a track on the bike. Stand still, you know?
Yeah.
And I beat all the cyclists.
I beat him just to
Newspapers.
I beat him just to keep my route, so I didn't have to deal with my grandpa when I got back. If I that's why I did.
Yeah.
And then I had to do a lemonade stand and all this shit. You know, but we've lost all that nowadays. You know, nowadays, here's this, here's that. So this is why this is so important.
Weakening.
Weak. They're taking the man out of men. Like what happened to the man? You know, comes home.
Now they call them transgender.
Now
and
they
all.
call him transgender.
And now we have to respect that all.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's crazy. You are born biologically. We have to get back to the mammal.
Yeah.
To the mammalian nature, which is taking care of your little ones, which is being happy, which is being able to hunt, to gather food, to come back, to have a happy life, to be in harmony with nature. It's all there. And what did we do? We messed it up. And now we pollute, abuse the world, make wars. And there is no guarantee for happiness, strength, and health. It's all not there. So, once again, let's get back to the core. And that's what we do. And I give people not a belt. I give them the ice bath. Ice bath is
and how important what you're doing is this. You'll understand this. So I needed an engineer. This guy's bugging me left and right about $200. You won't believe this shit. My parents would be rolling in their grave if they heard this. I call this guy who's always on, can I borrow 200? Hey, I need you today to engineer. I can't get anybody. You know what he said to me? I'm cooking a crock pot. I said, you're doing what?
Whoa.
I'm cooking a crock pot. That's how messed up it is, man. That's how important this is. A man can't go make money because he's got to cook a crock pot.
Yeah.
Now, out of all out of all the records, which one are you most proud of, or what was the funnest for you?
Yeah. What was the funniest?
Fun, like most fun for you.
Nah, man. Here's a funny one. Hey, come on, man. Hey,
so,
you know, I did. I started with 1 hour in the ice. That was in Hollywood. Then I did 1 hour, 1 minute. Then I did 1 hour, 2 minutes. 1 hour, 3 minutes. 1 hour, 4. I could do 3 hours, but I messed up with all these organizations saying I'm going to break the world record, but every time with 1 minute. So I got money, I got invited, I got be treated like a VIP, and I got it all in control. It was a piece of cake. The cherry on the cake, man. Ice cake.
Yeah, for once, somebody fucked them.
Yeah, man. Hey, they would love for me to go 2 hours, then 3 hours, then 10 hours, and then die. They would love it. But, you think they think I am crazy, but the TV world, that is crazy.
They're crazy.
Only I got them by the balls.
Yeah. No, you don't have balls, man. The stuff you do, anybody could do, but for you to come out and do it, no, that's not having balls of steel. This is beyond balls of steel, man. This is some shit here. And
yeah, man. Life is to challenge yourself. And if people don't challenge themselves outside anymore, man,
it's over.
Then I have already won.
Nope.
Because I go for the soul. I want to challenge my mind and body, not the way they have schooled me. I'm going to school them now because it needs the soul back to where it belongs, in happiness, strength, and in health, not in sickness and this confusion, what is going on in the world, and sending our young guys to the war because of some lobbyists who make money, who begin proxy wars, who do all the shit. The abuse of the soul. It's the abuse of the soul. Somebody's got to bring it back. Let it be us.
Mr. Hoff, what do you think happens when you die? When you die, what do you think happens? Do you think we go into another dimension? Do you think you float up? Do you like what?
It's like a telephone.
Yeah.
It's like a telephone. A telephone is a buddy. The telephone is a buddy, but when you lose the telephone, my shit is still in the iCloud.
So So you think like when
Yes.
when you die and the computer's done and it dies, that's it.
Yes, that it's like when you have done the second grade, you don't want to double the second grade.
Right.
You better get your shit together in this life, go to the bottom of who you are so you can die in peace, real peace. Then you are ready. You are ready. And that's why you have peace, because you're ready. And then you go into something more beautiful.
What do you think happened? I mean, do you think you just go into the ground and you die and that's it, or do you think you go to a dimension?
No.
No.
Absolute higher consciousness. There is a higher dimension. Man, look at the planets.
Yeah.
How do you think they hang all there? Those are powers we do not understand even. We don't understand the unlimited power of the mind. I'm only scratching the surface, but I'm showing the right direction. We are here to realize issues of the soul, and we better get into them. If we don't, we will die in stress because we didn't use the body for what it is. And I want to have purpose. I have purpose. What you do right now, that is purpose.
I agree
with you. That's what we do.
100%. And I don't want to take up too much of your time because I want to talk into flying in. So or have Tony, because I want you in person when you have time. So you know this. They found out, well, we've known that the last thing released when you die is DMT. Then they found out that there's alternative DMT that's in your liver, kidneys, everything else. And the real doctors put it under a microscope, and it has so much energy, there's nothing on earth that they can calculate. So it has to go somewhere. So what I think is that where you go, I don't know, some other dimension. But I think if you don't find self while you're here now, when all that DMT and all that alternative DMT is released when you die, you don't go in peace. You go to some shitty dimension or whatever, because you didn't find yourself in this dimension. And until you find self, I don't think you go to the good dimension or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's kind of what you're saying too.
Yes, there is a higher dimension. It's simply there. And about DMT, we did a study. DMT, the formula for DMT is melatonin minus CO2. Through breathing exercises creates DMT.
You could create it. Yeah.
DMT is there to de-traumatize in the body, not only of this life, also of genetical trauma of our ancestors. Mm-hmm. It's all there, and we can do that. And I found the ways how to release it, how to get into that. So when it happens, when we go into the higher dimension, and we have done our whatever we needed to do, you can feel it. Go follow that feeling inside. Learn to have a dialogue inside and find your purpose, the purpose of your soul. Because your soul is unbreakable, is everlasting. Only you got to deal with your shit here. And let's just do that. That's what we do. We are honest, innocent, like children therein. And we just going to make it happen for our families. Happiness, strength, and health. We bring the love. Love was the greatest power of the universe. Yeah. We make it happen.
Last two things, because if all this wasn't enough for you for someone to try this, man, woman, girl, this will be. How does this affect anti-aging? Because now, anti-aging is like the biggest thing right now. Everybody wants to stay young. They're taking this, they're taking that. How can the WHM? How can I just call it the Iceman
method. Very simple.
Yes. So how can it anti-age me? Will it take my wrinkles away, my skin better?
Yeah.
Talk about that, because you have everybody on the fucking planet on it.
Yeah. The last thing I said just before you asked me this was the soul is unbreakable, is eternal. It's like there is no age there. It always goes on. The thing about aging is that we didn't do what we came here for. And that's why we want longer to live, because we know we didn't do our shit. That's why we are not satisfied the way we are. And then we climb and look in the mirror. Hey, do I look good? Do I have wrinkles? Do I have this? Do I have that? I want to look like a youthful person all my life. Man, that is not biology. Biology of the spirit is to realize your soul. And unless you don't do that, you will have issues with age, with time. But there is no time in the soul.
So the Wim Hof method will slow aging. It will slow down aging.
Not only responsible for aging is the condition of the telomeres. And the telomeres, it has been shown in a study I did with San Francisco with the best DNA researchers, it brings down that what affects wrongly the telomeres with the cell division. If the cells stop dividing, you die. Yes?
Yeah.
So you want to keep on dividing the division of cells. And that can be done by bringing down inflammation.
Excellent.
There it is.
And what do you have coming up in the future? What's coming in the future? What do you have planned?
Oh man, so much. So much. Yeah, I just wrote a new book. In the 15th of May, it's gonna be processed into production, and it is all talking about this. It's talking about we are now able to get in the autonomous processes in the brain and become the master over our mood and emotion. It's there. I showed it in brain scans, but I also explained the philosophy behind it. The way everybody is able for free to implement it in their lives, just by understanding, bringing back faith. Faith that we are the master of our minds, that we own our own minds, and that we are the captains of our souls. I explain it all through neuroscientific understanding. So there is no doubt anymore, no speculation about it. That's the way we are built.
When do you think that will be out where people can buy it, or audio book? You know, everybody wants the audio.
I think it is or the end of this year or beginning of next year.
Okay, definitely let me know.
They add it.
Yeah, you know they are.
They add it and add it.
Yeah.
But here it is. Once again, you don't need to buy the book.
No.
Just get back into yourself as you have been calling out the self.
Good God.
The rest is bullshit. Until you do feel still the bullshit, work it out. Use these techniques because they have proven themselves beyond speculation. They're there. You can cleanse yourself. You can change your biochemistry. You can get a hold over the inflammation and better your immune system. Get a full control over the mood, emotion itself. It's all there. I wish every person happiness, strength, and health. That's love.
Yeah.
We wish people the love, the biggest of all powers, now scientifically endorsed. It's there. You better begin to invest into love. That's what brings love. Imagine people, bad people, if they have the real mastery within their mind, what would they choose? Unhappiness or happiness?
Right.
A sickness or health?
Right.
Weakness or strength? They would choose the good things. But people are out of their minds.
Right, they're crazy.
What we bring is to bring them back into their minds. That's the way we are built. And now I got the science to prove it. So we just give people the choice. Be good for yourself because you will feel good.
That's a great point.
You don't need to be bad.
That's a great point.
It's there.
That's a great
it's
point.
There.
You see all this crime and everything else, but that's because you're off. You're off. You're here. You're there. You're there. But if you found here, maybe you wouldn't go rob that bank. maybe you wouldn't do this. That's a good point. I never thought of it like that either. Because
Man,
you found
yeah,
self
Tommy.
again. It comes back to you found self.
Yes, and the self is good, but now it is controlled. We bring the control. We show it through science. A happy man doesn't go to war. A happy man is not into possession. He is happy.
That's right.
Boom.
All right, Mr. Hoffman, I have all your links in the description. I'll have them up all throughout the video. An honor to talk to you. If you're ever coming to America, you got to stop by. And if you're not, I don't know, maybe you could fly. Maybe by then you can learn to fly without a plane. I don't know. You could do everything else. Maybe you can maybe you can just fucking fly in there yourself.
I fly with my mind.
Okay.
And my wife says, Wim, I'm ready.
Yeah, you better move. Yeah, you better move, buddy. Hey, I know that. I know that talk. But you got to get in here in person sometime, please, Mr. Hoff. Yeah. No matter what it takes.
Man, anything with your reach, man, that is very effective to get to unnecessary suffering and change it.
Yeah.
That's the work.
Because there's too much bullshit. Just like I said about the sauna, and you know where that came from. You were on the show before. The sauna to the ice thing, but that just cancels it out. That doesn't it doesn't do what we're trying to get out there. You got to come in.
Exactly.
You're awesome, and you're fun. You're fun. We had a good time, man. Thank you for your time.
We had.
Yeah, we definitely. You got to come in person. And when that new book comes out, maybe if who knows where you'll be, but just pop up for a little bit, and we can let everybody know that book's out so that they can go grab it. And you don't need to buy it.
Sure, Tommy.
But if you got it. All right, Mr. Hoffman. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, Tommy, in the heart, and we just keep on going, and we will cross paths again.
Absolutely.
Keep on going.
You
right
too.
on.
Right on, brother. This episode is sponsored by WestonJohnBoucher.com. Even after a decade of exposure to the fashion industry, while fully immersed in the modeling world, model and future designer Weston John Boucher still hadn't found clothing that checked every box when it came to look, feel, quality, durability, and price. His solution was to create a menswear brand that would bridge the gap between designer-level pieces and reasonable price points without sacrificing quality. Weston's aim was to provide men who prioritize their health with effortless sophistication and style through simplicity of flattering fits, handsome designs, and amazingly comfortable materials. It's time to elevate your style. Experience obtainable luxury by Weston John Boucher at WestonJohnBoucher.com. Use the code Tommy to save 25% off your first purchase, their largest discount ever. I'll tell you right now, it would give Imperial Armani, Giorgio Armani, Page a run for its money. So go to Weston, WestonJohnBoucher.com. Use the code Tommy, Tommy, and save 25% off. Link is in the description below.